What does respect look like to you? I know that when I'm not treating myself well, right? When I feel like I'm not doing enough, when I'm not enough, when I have all these things that I should be doing but I'm not, then I'm usually holding myself with a deep pressure, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in some cases, where I am not respecting myself as much as I should if I'm not treating myself well during these times of hardship. So it's normal to go through tough times, and it's normal to feel the heat of the world on you, especially when you are trying to accomplish something or when you're trying to get to the next level. You're putting in effort and you're falling down along the way, you're failing along the way, and it's tough. Like, it hurts. And there are some times where you're just alone, where you don't have backup from either friends, family, or colleagues, where even if that's not true, it might feel that way. So I know that I've felt that way for years before, where it felt like I had no one to talk to, no one to actually go bounce off of what should I be doing, how should I be aligning myself. And when you're alone and have these negative thoughts on top of you, that you should be doing more, you should be more, why aren't you here yet? These expectations that usually are there because of society or through your parents, but more specifically, usually yourself, you're putting this weight on yourself. You need to be able to practice respect. That's one of the fundamental core pillars you need to be able to stand on, whether you have a bunch of help around you or if you have no one around you, literally or figuratively. So being able to do that means that when you are in it, you need to have that kind of patience with yourself, for yourself. You have to remember the things that you have done in the past that was already hard, that you have already gone through, because you're here now. You've been through hard things before. And if for some reason you're thinking that you haven't been through anything difficult, you are literally fooling yourself. You are lying to yourself without knowing it, because you have done hard things and you can do hard things. That should be one of your affirmations. I can do difficult things. I can do hard things. I can do this. It just might take time, but I can do this. You can do this. The fact is that when we're going through this hardship, right, whether it's verbal, mental, emotional, with someone else, with ourselves alone, you need to have that patience and you need to have that understanding of your own power. The respect that you have as an individual for yourself goes a long way, especially when you're in charge of other people, when you're in charge of a team of people professionally, when you're in charge of a family. If you want to be in charge of a family in the future, it's a great place to be able to, a great skill set to have ahead of time. You got to understand that pressure doesn't go away, that these hard things, a lot of the times, it's not that they dissipate completely. What happens is that you can manage them more effectively. So the weight of the world doesn't really get lighter. What happens is that you get stronger. And so you have to respect that part of you that has been growing already, even if you didn't recognize it. Now is a great time to recognize it. You've been growing already. You will continue to grow. You're watching this because you're someone who is interested in his own development. That's what's going on. So take the time. Take the time to know that you're working on it, that you're working on yourself. Take the time to know that maybe not everything is going to come as soon as possible. Take the time to remember the hardships that you've already been through. Create a list of these things that you have already been through and conquered already, whether you think it's big or small. Understand that you're going to get there. It takes effort and time. Throughout that process, it's much better and life is much more brighter if you're able to have the patience and understanding of the actual hardship of what it takes, the cost of what it takes while you're going through that process, and giving yourself the grace of understanding that you're a human. You're a powerful human going through it. And only the people, it's the people within the Pantheon who are in the Colosseum, who are fighting in there. These are the people who can really talk about it. To reach these heights, you have to go through the depths of hell or the fight, and you are in the fight. So understand that sometimes you're going to be alone, even if you're in a room full of people, right? But understand, when you are alone with no one else, you're never really alone. You have nature, whatever you want to take from that, right? It's different forms of nature, but you always have yourself. You're the only person who's always around you 100% of the time. So get used to the skill of showing that respect. Yes, I have done this kind of work before. Yes, I have failed at this right now, but I'm taking these steps to get better at it. Yes, I know I've done all of this in the past, which is not good, but this is the kind of person who I'm deciding to become now and into the future. And understand that. So give yourself the patience, give yourself the grace, give yourself the notion that you are respected along the journey. And even if other people aren't respecting you as well as they should or as you wish, it doesn't really matter. You can't really control them. You can only control yourself. You can only control 3 things in life: your actions, your reactions, and your mindset. So respect that and remember your power.